Hello, everyone! Hi, how's it going? Hey, we're here, we're live. Wow, look at that. Sorry, the piano music is gone for tonight. We're sticking with some lo-fi tonight. Not that I'm complaining, this is all pretty good. But I went to go to the Game Chops live stream that they have for the piano music, and it was bugging out. There were a couple of people in chat that were like, hey, is the sound glitching out for anyone else? And yeah, by God, it sure was. So we're going with the lo-fi tonight instead. Hello, Fallen. Welcome in. We're so close, guys. We're so close to finishing PowerWash 2. We have 4 levels to go. I know this next one is probably going to take a minute. But I don't know about the others. I have a feeling the last one's going to take a while. So I don't know that this is going to be the final stream for PowerWash 2, at least for the main story. It's probably not going to be, but by God, I'm going to see how far I can get tonight. Yeah. Let's just jump right into it. Let me turn off the lo-fi. There we go. Any second now. Okay, there it goes. It's weird. It was still going on my end for a minute. Anyway, please, everything work. Come on. Hi. Okay, let's get started. Oh, hang on. First, a quick word from our sponsor. And also. There we go. Theater sets. All right, let's do it. Insert Jeopardy theme song. Also, Fallen with a 3-stream streak. Let's go. Yeah, no, for whatever reason, my computer's being a bit slow, so some Twitch news. People are abusing their share chat feature where they're using botted servers and banning people when caught. Oh, that's not cool. Well, fortunately, I don't have to worry about that right now because I'm not doing a shared chat. Also, I wouldn't do that anyway. Seems a little silly. I don't understand people's desire to, like, become instantly successful at doing this. I really don't even fully get the desire to, like, want to do this full time. Like, I love streaming, don't get me wrong. I think streaming is a lot of fun. I would be so stressed if this was my full-time job, dude. I don't get the appeal of, like, trying to force that to be a thing, you know? For me, streaming is less like a, you know, an actual gig where I get paid and more just like, I don't know, I do this for fun. They're doing it to get to the top of Twitch list and their partners. Yeah, I get that, but I just don't get why you would want to do that. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Oh. Yeah, no, it's just a weird thing, I guess, for me, is just like, oh, you know, I I probably could if I really wanted to, like, work at it and try to, like, build up a big audience and, you know, do all that, all this, all that, whatever. Just, I feel like I would be too stressed, really. I like kind of having, like, a tight-knit sort of community. I don't know. Just feels a lot easier when it's not your full-time job, I guess. Botting is crazy work. Why would someone do that? Some people feel inadequate, I guess. I don't know. some people probably are inadequate, let's be honest. Um, shit, did I say that out loud? I didn't, I don't know. It feels like cheating, right? I think that's my other big concern with it, is it just feels like cheating. Yeah, why naturally build up an audience that, like, actually likes your work when you could just pay money to get a fake audience and still get that sweet, sweet social media dopamine? I don't know. Because God forbid we, have people who are popular because they're actually, like, fun and engaging and entertaining. There we go. People want Twitch to notice them, I guess, yeah. I don't know. Back in my day, this was still an issue, so it's cool to see that we haven't fixed it yet. Um, See, and you thought I was going to go, back in my day this wasn't a problem, and then it'd be proven to be demonstrably wrong. But no, I do actually remember, like, bot accounts being, like, a big problem even when I was in, like, high school and everything. Um, it's just silly. I don't know. And not silly in a fun way, like, silly like I try to be. I try to be, like, a silly little guy. Not silly as in, I can't pull an audience on my own, and so I'm going to pay for one. I get those kind of people in my chat when I need to stream for my PlayStation friends on Discord, where they offer Discord and botting stuff. Yeah, those are all scams, and you should block them immediately, because either, like, they're, like, actual, like, bot accounts, or they're legit accounts that got hacked. So don't interact with them outside of blocking them. There's a server I'm a mod in, and we had a couple of those recently pop in, and it's never fun. There we go. Also, to keep your account safe, you should always use two-factor authentication. I know it's kind of inconvenient, but it does keep your account from getting hacked. Or, like, maybe not entirely prevent it, but it's, like, a good step in the right direction, right? It's better to have it than to not. Because oftentimes with two-factor authentication, it's really, really tough for hackers to, like, actually get into your account and everything. So if you don't have it turned on, do it right now. This has been your PSA from Turnip. Is don't let hackers get a hold of your information. Oh, hey, that guy looks familiar. There we go. Come on, come on. Oh, I guess I didn't get that part. There we go. Oh. Cool. there's gonna be some fucking thing to this level. I can already tell, right? Because this one's like, oh, we're getting, getting it done pretty quickly. No, I don't trust this. I've played enough of this game to not trust it. Oh. Especially since we're so close to the end of the game, right? Like, I feel like we're close enough that I feel like they're gonna start pulling some weird bullshit. There we go, that's that. There we are. Now that I think about it, normally, for something like this, you would want to take all the pieces out of the theater before you start cleaning them. Ah, but what do I know? I'm only playing a video game. I'm just a little talking vegetable. What could I possibly know about the theater? Also, if you hear explosions going on in the background, don't worry about that. It is, as of time of stream, it is currently July the 5th. Which means that people still aren't done celebrating July 4th yet. So if you hear fireworks in the background, that's what that is. I do apologize. It was way worse last night. It's part of the reason I didn't stream. So, like, I got a text from my housemates, and they were like, hey, just so you know, we're going to be shooting off some fireworks outside the house if you want to join us. And I didn't even respond. I was just like, I'm going to stay in my room. I ended up playing Rhythm Heaven last night. Good game so far. I'm really enjoying it. It's also my first, like, real experience with Rhythm Heaven. I tried the fan-made, like, Rhythm Heaven level creator at one point. This is very cute. But this is, like, my first, like, real exposure to, like, an actual, like, official Rhythm Heaven game, and it's very fun so far. It's very silly. I quite like it. I love the aesthetic of it. I mean, I've always had a bit of an appreciation for the art style of it. I just never got around to playing any of the games. I, at one point, tried to do a reactive for me that was, like, based on the Rhythm Heaven WarioWare kind of style. I have the drawing lying around somewhere. I need to dig it out and finish it, because it's very cute. What I had done anyway. That was back when I was making reactives for, like, every other game I was playing, and I was like, oh, I want to do it in this art style, I want to do it in this art style, this, that, and the other thing. I kind of gave up on that for a while, but I should get back into it. It was really fun, like, trying out different art styles. And I want to finish the Rhythm Heaven one, because, like, I really, really like that art style. It's very, very cute. Okay, yeah, this is the bullshit, right? This is the bullshit. I can already tell the bullshit's gonna come up, because we are most of the way through this thing, and we're only at 34%. I'm telling you, there's some bullshit about to happen. Unless all of this somehow counts for the other fucking 65% of it, which I sincerely doubt. Eh. There we go. Hello, Shin. Welcome in. There we go. Yeah, there's simply no way that the rest of this is going to count for that other, like, 60% of it. Because I knew I smelled a fucking rat. I called it. I knew I was going to be like, this is not at all the rest of the level. I'm going to need the ladder, I think. No, you come here. There we go. Sick. Alright. I can now move that back there. That'll be fine. Now, that being said, we are moving through the level pretty quickly, even despite the fact that this is not all there is to it. So, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't complain too much. There we go. There we go. We're gonna get the inside of that, too. Sick. Okay, cool. And there we go. Cool. Yeah, I know exactly what's going to happen, because I'm pretty sure we're about to hit 50%, right? What it's going to do is it's going to have us leave the theater box and close the curtains, and then when the curtains rise, then it's going to be all new scenery. That's what's going to happen. I already know this. Uh-huh. Yep. Last three things just popped up on screen, and yet we are only at 50% of the way done. Isn't that convenient? There we go. Alright, just the backdrop done. For sure. And this is definitely going to count for the rest of the fucking level. Actually, you know what I could do? I could be funny about this. I fucking called it! Here it comes! See, I fucking said this was gonna happen. Oh, God. Fortunately, at least we don't have to worry about the rest of the, like, box anymore. It's just the props on stage. That part's nice. I was a little worried for a second it was going to make us redo all of this again. I'm not saying the developers of PowerWash Simulator are evil. I'm only heavily implying it. Oh, you know what? I missed this whole part. There we go. That's that part done. That's that part done. And then this little guy? I didn't do this side. There we go. Alright, perfect. I swear to God, if it makes me change the scene one more time, like after this. I mean, it would be a 3-act structure at that point, I think. God, imagine if it was like a Shakespeare thing. 5 full acts of this nonsense. I can't lie, I like Shakespeare. Alright, chat, what's everyone's favorite Shakespeare play? And if you say Romeo and Juliet, you're wrong. There we go. Oh, Shin with a 10 stream streak, let's go! Yeah, this feels familiar. I think I claimed the gazebo on one of these streams at some point. I didn't really like Hamlet or Macbeth. That's fair. Oh shit, I said it while in a theater. God damn it. Alright. Well, unfortunately, I can't go outside and run around the theater, so I can't break the curse. We're fucked, everyone. I do like Hamlet. Hamlet is my favorite of the tragedies, I think. But it really is one of those, like, everyone dies the end. It a lot of the tragedies are basically the Shakespeare equivalent of him going like, damn, that was crazy. You see that shit? Anyway, I'm William Shakespeare. Julius Caesar has the gem of the line, a coward dies 1,000 deaths, the valiant taste of death but once. It's a good line, yeah. My favorite Shakespeare line is, "What, you egg?" stabs him. That's real. That one's actually in Macbeth, I think. And of course, you know, to be or not to be, whether or not, whether 'tis nobler to, you know, what I forget how exactly it goes. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler to bear the something of 1,000 arrows. I don't. It's been a minute since I've read Hamlet. But I remember it was something to that effect. And then this is my pet peeve when it comes to Shakespeare. Is everyone picks up the skull and says to be or not to be. That's a different scene in the show, though. When he picks up the skull, he goes, "Alas, poor York, I knew him, Horatio. He was a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. Here lay those lips I have kissed, I know not how oft." You know, like... He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. Uh, something, something, something. I forget exactly how it goes, but yeah, it's that one. I confused The Merchant of Venice with Othello numerous times. I so okay. I have a deep appreciation for Hamlet. I have a deep appreciation for Much Ado About Nothing, which I think is my favorite Shakespeare play. Also, the movie version of that one, really good. Um, it's the specifically the version with like Denzel Washington and Keanu Reeves and Kenneth Branagh. That specific version of Much Ado About Nothing is why I like Much Ado About Nothing as much as I do. I think Sonnet 145, the one with the non-standard meter, is a really good work. Yeah, yeah. This. It's the thing. Shakespeare is so cool, right? Shakespeare is actually really, really fucking cool, and I think there's a reason. The reason that a lot of people don't think that is because they think of Shakespeare purely in academic terms. They think, oh, he's the boring guy who wrote those plays, I guess. Like, no, the guy's fascinating. Um, you know, and I think a lot of people take Shakespeare way the fuck too seriously. Brother put a yo mama joke in one of his plays, right? Like the line is something like "Villain, I have done thy mother" or something like that, right? He wrote his plays for the commoners. He wrote his plays for the people, not just for nobility or whatever. I think that's the thing a lot of people miss out on. God, it really is a three-act structure. I don't like the percentage we're at right now. Those lips that love's own hand did make breathed forth the words that I said I hate to me that languished for her sake, but when she saw my woeful state. Like, the dude was really good at writing. It's almost like that was his job or something. Straight in her heart did mercy come, chiding that tongue that ever sweet was used in gentle giving doom, and taught it thus anew to greet. Also, I'm always impressed by the fact that Bro wrote in iambic pentameter for like most of his plays. Like he wrote his plays to be performed first of all, and I think that's another reason a lot of people don't vibe with him is because when you're taught Shakespeare in school, you're not seeing the plays, you're like reading them. And I think that's a really, really bad way to experience Shakespeare. I think it's best to experience Shakespeare one of two ways, either by performing it or by watching it. Or I guess reading it in the case of the sonnets, but like specifically with the plays, it's the best way to learn Shakespeare is to watch it or to perform it. And I do think a lot of those like annotated versions of Shakespeare can be useful. The ones where it's like on one page is the original text, and then on the next page it's like what the words mean. Because yeah, English has changed quite a bit since Shakespeare's time. But like, I don't know, man. I would much prefer just to watch it and be able to get what it means. Because if you watch a Shakespeare performance, even if you don't know half the words that they're saying, like, you still get the idea of what's going on. You know? It's a lot easier to understand Shakespeare when you're actually watching him than when you're reading it. But yeah, I think more people should watch and perform Shakespeare who don't think they would necessarily have an interest. I'd say go with Much Ado About Nothing. It's one of the better of the comedies. Midsummer Night's Dream is quite good. Yeah. Othello. And then just for fun, listen to the soundtrack to Something Rotten, because that show's a lot of fun. It's not actually Shakespeare, but it's about Shakespeare, and it's quite silly. Anyway, I don't like Romeo and Juliet. I think Romeo and Juliet is very overrated. I'm gonna die on this hill. Anyone who tells you that Romeo and Juliet is the greatest love story ever told has either not actually read or seen or performed Romeo and Juliet, and therefore doesn't actually know what they're talking about, or is trying to sound pretentious. And those are not mutually exclusive. Romeo and Juliet is not the greatest love story ever told. It's just not. It's two teenagers being idiots. I think the more interesting story is the feud between, the Capulets and the Montagues, and how Romeo and Juliet's actions, like, kind of expose how fucking pointless their whole deal is with each other. That's the more interesting part of it. I feel like too many people focus on the title characters, um, which I know seems really silly to say. But no, I genuinely think that, like, it's not a good love story, and it's not meant to be a good love story. It's meant to be like, hey, guys, look at how fucking idiotic these guys are. I left to look up the end of Sonnet in case I got anything wrong. I got one single word wrong. I thought flown was thrown. My phone was hot and it made Twitch crash. Damn, that sucks. But you're back now. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. Right foot, let's stomp. Cha-cha, real smooth. Turn it up. Shakespeare was almost certainly bi. That was a brave thing to be then, publicly. Oh, yeah. There we go. Alright, one more of these motherfuckers. Please, God, let this be it. Looks like it should be, anyway. I come back to bi. Hi, Arthur Plura. Yeah, we're talking about Shakespeare and how he was probably bi. Happy belated Pride Month, everyone. What part of this? Ah, that part of this. There we go. What? Here's a fun fact for you. When I was in high school, I was part of my school's theater club. That probably does not surprise anybody here. What will surprise you is that I got cast in a production of In the Heights. And if you know anything about that show, you might be wondering to yourself, Turnip, how did you get cast in The Heights? Aren't you too white for that shit? And yeah, didn't stop us from doing that show, though, the fact that we did not have a diverse enough cast for that show. For years, my mom thought that the character of Benny in The Heights was supposed to be Jewish. No, he's black, like in the actual show. When she went to go see the movie version, she was confused. She wasn't like upset about it or anything. Like I don't want to make this sound like my mom's like a bad person. She's not. She was just confused. She called me up later. She was like, "Yeah, no, I really like the movie, but like I was kind of confused as to why they cast a black guy as Benny." I was like, "Mom, he was always black." It was just our production where he was Jewish because we didn't have any black actors to play him. I really want to like Shakespeare's work, but there's so many things in modern history I prefer over it. That is fair. There is a lot of media out there. Um, I used to be addicted to Star Wars such that it might have counted, but specifically the Inquisicopters made me stop liking it intensely. It's still got good stuff. The Inquisicopters are silly, though. It's pure fucking pulp sci-fi shit. Like, I don't know, man. I'll defend the Inquisicopters because, like, people take it too seriously, I think. I think people take parts of Star Wars too seriously and other parts of Star Wars not seriously enough. Which is again, kind of a silly thing to say, I guess, but like I do think with Star Wars in particular, there's a lot of good themes in there about like authoritarianism and like, fighting for what's right and what's just, yeah, and like that sort of thing. And people often overlook that for like the lore, the deep lore. And as much as I like the deep lore, I wish people would stop taking it too seriously. And also stop being wrong about it. I'm never gonna get over the fucking complaint that Kiadi was too young to be in the Acolyte. Brother, where did they say that that was the case? I think it's a blessing in hindsight because I'm not caring so strongly about, say, the Old Republic that I'm unhealthy anymore. No, that is genuinely a good thing. I kind of have to take it a little bit seriously at least because it's my job outside of this. But as much as I like it, I try not to let it be like a overwhelming factor in my life. Not like that anyway. I also just never got into MMOs, partly because I wasn't allowed to play them as a kid, so I never got into the Old Republic. Um, I remember I really, really wanted to play Cartoon Network Fusion Fall when I was a kid. Shout out if you remember that one. Because I was like, oh, it's like an online game with a bunch of Cartoon Network characters. I like Cartoon Network. Um, no, I wasn't allowed to play it because my parents were scared of, like, strangers on the internet and everything. And now most of my friends are online, which is really funny. But, I'm also an adult now and can make better judgment calls on people in general than I could when I was a kid, so there's that too. Weirdly enough, they didn't have anything against Club Penguin, and I think that's because, like, they kind of trusted that one to be safe. They were like, oh, it's Disney, sure, that one works, I guess. I miss Club Penguin, man. Hi, Colleen. Welcome in. Just got out of playing D&D. Fuck yeah. I gotta play more D&D, man. Alright. Now, it says I've got a stalagmite and a stalactite, and I can tell you, I remember the difference between the two. This is a stalagmite that I'm working on right now. Not just because I know that because it's telling me that's the thing I'm looking at, but also because the way I remember is stalagmite has a G in it because it's on the ground, G for ground, and stalactite has a C in it for ceiling because they're on the ceiling. I don't know if that's actually the etymology. I don't think it is, but, like, it's the way I remember anyway. I will say I never liked Warhammer. I just never got into Warhammer, really. I know it's a big thing for a lot of people. I just didn't really ever get into it. TF2 is slowly consuming my free time. That's me, circa 2014. All right, pop, pop. I actually dislike feeding my senses Warhammer. That is fair. I think I tried one of like the like boomer shooter games that they came out with for Warhammer. I think it was like Bolt Gun or whatever. I tried a little bit of that and I just couldn't get into it. Also, the Warhammer universe is just like too depressing for me. It's not my thing. Alright, here we go. Last pass. And pop. Hey! We did it. Ah, I'm getting back into JoJo as episode 2 of Steel Ball is coming. I never got into JoJo. Part of it for a while was just like, man, I don't know. Like everyone was telling me I needed to watch JoJo, and I think because of that, I actually wanted to watch JoJo less. Twitch app updated. It is all fancy. Hell yeah, I'll check that out in a minute. Look at that. We're not even an hour into the stream, and I've already done my first level of the night. I've only got like 3 left now. We're getting somewhere, gamers. Is choosing to roleplay as hopeless and voluntarily evil if you're participating in the premise of being someone fighting for survival in the verse. That's why I didn't ever get into Warhammer. It was just too depressing for me. It's because no matter what faction you pick, you lose. Like, that universe is just built for you to lose. Also, stretch break and hydrate? You're making me take care of myself? I can't believe this. Oh. Orcs are fun. I'll have to take your word on it. Okay. Let me hydrate myself, too. And you know what? I've got a little snacky snack here, too. I've got some sweetened dried pineapple. Because I quite like the taste of sweetened dried pineapple. And also mostly because I saw it at Walmart the other day and I was like, that'll make a good stream snack. Orcs are probably the most innocent next to the Tau because they cannot understand that what they're doing is wrong. So they're kind of like fantasy orcs then, by the sounds of it. Oh, I see. There we go. They do it for fun? They're the kind of people to yell, "Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys!" No, that was the Uruk-hai that did that. I know Lord of the Rings. I know Ball. Orcs were made for fighting and winning. Exact same accent, more or less. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, that's because, like, a lot of fantasy races will, like, kind of share accents over different, like, media properties, right? And I do blame Tolkien for that. Maybe not him directly, but I do blame, like, a lot of people who adapt his work. It's been pretty satisfying so far, I think. Obviously, I don't think I got everything. Yeah. There we go. Ah. Spicy chicken sandwiches are so good. I add mustard or pickles, usually mustard. They obscure the flavor of the other. If you're looking for more whimsical Warhammer factions, then orcs are more or less that. Spicy chicken sandwiches, I don't really go for the spicy ones very often, and I don't know. It's not that I don't like them. It's just I usually just go for a regular chicken sandwich. I just can't do mustard or pickles. It's like a thing. I don't know. Like, I can do mustard, I just don't like it very much. Pickles, on the other hand, I can't stand. I do also have the palate of a 5-year-old, so, you know, you know. With Sandwich Bros, I just want to make it clear that it's not Chick-fil-A. Yeah, well, good, I'm glad you clarified. I wasn't gonna assume that it was Chick-fil-A. You know the worst part about all that is, like, the food at Chick-fil-A is really good. At least for, like, fast food chicken. You know, it's quite good. The problem is they hate gay people, right? Like, not the individual workers. I'm sure there are a lot of gay people that work at Chick-fil-A, unfortunately. Um, but, like, the heads of corporate don't like gay people, and that sucks. But it's the ones that you insert into a grocery store burger bun that are better with the condiments. Hmm. I can tell you down here in the blessed state of Florida, we have a grocery store chain called Publix. It's not just in Florida; it's all over the South. But started in Florida, so it's like kind of a cultural thing down here, I guess. But they have a deli in all of their grocery stores, and they sell sub sandwiches. And I will be dead before I say anything bad about Publix subs. It's like a staple of my childhood, and I still have them on a fairly frequent basis. There we go. It's a wonderful childhood memory of mine is every now and then we would, go out, like we would go grocery shopping, and of course we'd pick up, subs from Publix, and then we would we would go home and have dinner and watch Mythbusters. It's like, yeah, it was like our routine every so often. Simpler times, man. Except not really. I just was a kid at the time, and so I feel like they're simpler because I didn't have as much to worry about. Um, Remember, kids, don't let the nostalgia fallacy get to you. Times were not actually simpler when you were a kid. They just felt like they were because you were a kid. I should go to a restaurant and have pad thai sometime. It's been like a year. I don't think I've ever had pad thai. It's great when it's spicy. I'll have to take your word on it. For me, at least, times are simpler now. Hell yeah. I'm happy for you. But yeah, no, I feel like I hear that as like, times were simpler back then. And it's like, well, no, they weren't actually. You just, you know, didn't have to pay rent. Yo, bucket on, actually. Uh, but I'm not going to be the meme special order make him regret being born. Times are simpler now for me because I'm not demanded to do anything too hard for me, even now that I have a job with very short time, part-time hours. That's nice. I don't remember who said it, but it was like someone said something at one point to the effect of like, oh God, how did it go? It was like we uh, we remember the good things, but we always forget about all of the bad in our childhood, and that's why nostalgia is so comforting. Is because you tend to overlook the parts that you didn't like. Not only overlook them, but like forget them entirely in some cases. There we go. Uh, I believe genuinely for most people it gets harder. Inflation for one. Yeah. Well, I mean, also becoming an adult, you have to take on so many new responsibilities that you just simply did not have when you were a kid, you know? At least if you're, from like, like a first world country. All right. Here we are. Here we are. Perfect. I know I still got to get the top of this thing. But we're making good progress, you know? I think so, anyway. Okay. Yeah, I think the fact that it's already showing me, like, where I've missed, like, on screen, is a good sign. Here we go. I just gotta get the underside here. There we are. I am locking the hell in right now, by the way. There we go. Okay, perfect. So now it's just the roof. We can do this lickety-split. Alright, here goes. Oh, this is another one that's gonna fuck us up, isn't it? Because we're not even close to being done, and yet... Ooh, it's another one of these. Alright, what the hell opened up? Oh. Oh, good, the gems. We found them. We got the gems, Bentley Bear. I'm not even sure I want to know what's under here. I'm scared. It's probably something to do with the statue. There we go. There we go, that'll do. Bit of a tight squeeze in here. Alright. I'm trying to think of fictions I like more than Shakespeare because the story of Blaze Blue is so good. I know fuck all about Blaze Blue. Most of what I know about Blaze Blue comes from Crosstag, and I don't even know that much about Crosstag. I only played the demo of it because I thought it was cool that they had a fighter that had Ruby and Persona 4 in it. This was back when I was into Ruby, you see. They still didn't even put my favorite character in the game, so, you know, whatever. I like Penny. She's cute. Terumi tells Noel, "Strike me down with all of your hatred," so it took inspiration for its villain literally from Palpatine. I mean, there are a lot of villains that take inspiration from Palpatine. He's kind of like the movie villain, right? Him and Vader. I like that's not to say that there aren't other movie villains that are as iconic as those two, but like I feel like a lot of times when you ask someone to like name a villain from a movie, they're either going to name one of the Disney villains or they're going to name Darth Vader, you know? Unless they're being actively contrarian. And again, I'm not saying that 100%, but like I feel like most of the time that's kind of the case. In fact, Terumi fixates on hatred and needs someone to hate him in order to live. Hmm. That's kind of like what the Sith do, you know? Because it's like, it's like the Grand Inquisitor says in Obi-Wan Kenobi is, vengeance does wonders for the will to live, you know? But like Maul, like, held onto his anger so hard that he literally couldn't die, you know? Like, it was quite literally man too angry to die. The difference is Terumi has to cause it directed at him to live. Ah, I see. So it's sort of the opposite. Okay, fantastic. Hmm. What do you mean I missed part of this? Oh, there we go. Yeah, man. There we are. He's a troll. Like, the author has a very harmonious idea with George Lucas that his emotion is staunchly aligned with evil. That's what I like. Yeah. It's like Yoda says. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. There we go. Chest interior done, statue gem done, so now it's just we gotta get the outside of the doors here. There we go. There we go. Hey, look at that. Almost as if it's inherently evil. Yeah. Now, of course, fear itself is not necessarily an evil thing. I think, in general, right? But sort of as fear of other people, fear of other beings, fear of losing someone, that is the kind of fear that they meant. If in that line Yoda made it clear that what he meant by fear was greed slash selfishness, then I would agree with Yoda. Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. That's the thing is, that's what led Anakin to the dark side. Besides Palpatine manipulating him, you know, since he was a small child. But like that's what led Anakin to the dark side was he was afraid of losing those close to him, and so he held on to them too tightly. In episode 2, you really see that when his mom is kidnapped by the Sand People, and like he goes and he's like, "Oh, they killed my mother. Time to burn this entire village to the ground and kill not just the men but the women and the children too." You know, and then in Revenge of the Sith, you have like him having those like recurring nightmares of Padme dying in childbirth, and him trying to prevent that from happening, only to cause it to happen in the first place. It's kind of a self fulfilling prophecy, really. It's like the classic Greek myths. The town floats. You will not take her from me. If you are not with me, then you are my enemy. Yeah, Anakin Skywalker is such a tragic character. He really is. He cared too deeply for the people around him. Not necessarily that that's a bad thing, but he grew attached to them in a way that is entirely unhealthy. Um, that's the thing I think a lot of people seem to misunderstand about the Jedi Code is like they're not against the concept of love or emotion. They're against the concept of attachment specifically. And you have to be able to let go when it's time. That is sort of their philosophy. Move you over there. I cannot relate to Anakin at all because I'm willing to let go of them, and I would want them to do that for me. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So you get it. You get it. I always try to remind myself, though, is don't ever consider yourself better than Icarus just because you have the benefit of knowing how his story ends. You know? In that, like, yeah, I wouldn't fly too close to the sun, but I wouldn't do that because I already know what happens to Icarus. You know? So I think that's another good reason I think storytelling is cool. It's because you can impart lessons onto the listener. But also the Jedi were the reason he couldn't share his feelings and had to live in terror of their judgment, their contempt for emotion and selfishness. That's the thing too. Is like the Jedi were very very dogmatic by the time of the Clone Wars, and in retrospect, that can be very well summarized by the lack of variation in lightsaber colors. It's like, yeah, you have Mace Windu who has a purple lightsaber, but like everybody else either has blue or green, right? Because that's just the way it goes. And the Doyleist explanation for that is those were the only three colors that they had at the time. That and even Mace Windu having a purple one was like specifically requested by Samuel L. Jackson, right? But in universe, I think it's a really good sort of way to see like, yeah, they had like all sorts of colors back during the High Republic era, and then like as they got closer and closer to the Clone Wars, they started to like become more and more dogmatic. They incorporated the Guardian protocols, which kept them at the temple most of the time, the one single temple in Coruscant, instead of the various temples throughout the galaxy, you know, and suddenly now you only have blue or green lightsabers and like the occasional very rare purple one, kind of thing. So it's a nice little bit of visual storytelling, even if it was completely on accident. Them saying it shouldn't be allowed is why it had to happen. Yeah, I could talk about all this all day. Like I think the fall of the Jedi is so fascinating, and I also think that a lot of people misread the Jedi Order in general because everyone's like, oh, they're a cult, whatever. Like, yeah, technically they're a religion, but like, it's not quite in the way that one would think. they were just very, very strict as a religion, I suppose. Oh, but they kidnapped children. No, they gave full consent to the parents. You know, they like asked the parents, hey, is it alright if we take them back to the temple? The parents had to give permission. It's not like the Sith who just actually straight up kidnapped children. That's, I think, the other important distinction. But the Sith didn't kidnap children. No, they literally did multiple times on screen. I don't know how I could make this clearer for you, man. I don't know. It's a weird argument that I've seen before. Hey, I'm back at 5'11 this evening. My walking did wonders for my posture. Fuck yeah, dude. I gotta sit up straight. I'm not sitting up straight. I'm not a proper lady. Wasn't the Sith kidnapping children a Clone Wars episode plot? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It literally happened in the Clone Wars on multiple occasions, I think. Or at least, it at least happened on screen the one time. But, like, Maul was basically kidnapped by Palpatine. Like, Talzin didn't want Maul to leave. But Palpatine was like, no, I'm going to take him now. Actually, fuck you. At least if I remember correctly. It's also been a second since I've read that comic. But, like, this is what I'm saying, though. You know? At least 3 times, I think, in terms of episode plots, anyway. Yeah. Well, and also that was kind of sort of the plot of, like, Fallen Order, where the Inquisitors were after a holocron with a list of all the Force-sensitive children in the galaxy, presumably to either kidnap or kill them, you know. Because, it turns out the Sith are evil. Can you believe it, guys? That the Sith are the bad guys. I know a lot of it isn't good fun, but it does worry me a little bit how many people like getting red lightsabers at Galaxy's Edge. Um, I know they're probably not thinking about it as deeply as I am, but like, it's kind of off-putting. Oh, that was the entire plot of Kenobi. Also true. They literally did kidnap Leia. It's not even the last time that they had Leia in their custody, right? Like, that was literally the opening to Episode 4. That was the plot of Episode 4, was them going and rescuing Leia. I know she wasn't a kid by that point, but, like, still. The Sith and the Empire, they sure did like their kidnappings. Literally, the Jedi caused/forced it to happen by using the usual cruelty to try to prevent that happen. Well, 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 if it isn't the consequences of my action. I don't know if it's that or if they just became complacent. There's a really good line in one of the books, I think, where Dooku's talking about Yoda, and he's like, yeah, no one can hold on to that amount of power for that long without at least becoming a little corrupt. Um, whether through sheer complacency or, like, just actually becoming, like, you know, more okay with things. And while I don't agree with everything that Dooku said about the Jedi, I do agree with the fact that they got really, really complacent by the time of the Clone Wars, to the point where like they knew that going to war was a bad thing, but like what the fuck else were they gonna do really at that point? Especially because they had this very convenient army made for them. It's not just pragmatic, the Jedi had a moral flaw. They chose to be critical of a victim's emotional state instead of helping. Yeah, I guess. But they did also help a lot of people that were, like, you know, feeling that. But you know, I think a really good example of that though is like actually from Maul Shadow Lord, right? Where uh, Devin's master is sort of her moral compass. Spoilers for Maul Shadow Lord, I guess if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's really really good. Um, but like Devin's sort of the main character of that show. Like it's called Maul, but the show is about Devin. Um, Devin Izara is her name. She's great. She's a really interesting character. Um, but her master is sort of her moral compass. The moment that he gets taken out, she fucking turns to the dark side because she has a lot of emotions all sort of bottled up inside of her that have been just waiting to get out. And the moment Vader lands that final hit on him, Maul lets him die voluntarily. Also, yeah, that's also true. Um, Well, yeah, well, kind of, because like Mo was in a bit of a state during that whole fight. He wasn't at his 100%, but also like he wouldn't have helped even if he could have, because it's Maul, you know. And if there's one thing that Darth Maul really liked doing, it was finding children who have been trained in the ways of the Force that have a bit of a dark side streak and trying to bring them fully over to the dark side. It's happened more than once with him. Because let's also not forget Ezra Bridger. But yeah, no, Master Daki is great, but also like definitely tries to keep like his sort of morals from back before the Jedi collapsed. And yeah, no, the moment that he's out of the picture, Devin goes full on dark side, and I think that's really interesting because she's a lot younger than he is, and so he knew a time and grew up in a time of relative peace versus Devin, who grew up as a soldier, you know? Anyway, this is my PSA. Go watch Shadow Lord. However you have the means to do that, go do it. It's really good. Also, just a really pretty show. Like, legit. I think probably the prettiest thing to come out of Lucasfilm animation. May I spoil? May I say a spoiler of the Vader fight itself? Yeah. Uh, Go ahead or at least try to obscure it a little bit if you can. I'll probably know what you're talking about. I also did give a spoiler warning for it earlier, so I think you're good on that anyway. Are you going to talk about the one hit that Daki manages to get on Vader, and then Vader going full haymaker on his ass? Daki was doing solidly against Vader. Indeed, I say that if it wasn't for the reinforced armor, he would have won. He would have taken Vader's arms. Yeah, that's the thing. Is he was doing pretty well. I mean, he wasn't. He didn't really manage to land any hits or anything right up until the one that he did manage to get on him. But like, he was fighting pretty well against Vader. But yeah, no, the moment that Daki managed to get a single blow on Vader at all, he just went full, all right, enough fucking around, you're going to die now, kind of thing. Okay, I think that's all the raccoon stuff. It is not. I missed the paintbrush. There we go. All right, that's raccoon stuff done. Vader hadn't landed one on him, else he would have already died. Yeah, exactly. Um, that's the thing is Daki's defenses were pretty good. Um, But he also was getting worn out by the end of that fight. Like, Vader was just kind of being relentless against him. I think that's the most impressive dueling I'd ever seen from a non-human. Yeah. Also helps that it's animation, so, like, they can get away with a little bit more of that than they can in live action. That's why, I get the complaints about, like, Ahsoka's, like, Montrals in live action not being quite as large as they need to be, or, like, whatever. She's got to do action scenes, man. Like, and trying to get, like, lightweight enough Montrals that they don't constrict her movement that much, that also look good. It's a tough balance to find. So I get wanting them to look better, but, like, I also get why they don't look as good as they could. This is my other PSA. Watch Skeleton Crew. I need more people to talk about Skeleton Crew. Maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow, is I'll sit down and watch the first few episodes of X-Men Season 2, and then, watch Skeleton Crew. But I need to catch up, because Season 2 of X-Men 97 started, and, boy howdy did I really enjoy the first season. I gotta catch up. There we go. I think this level's gonna take me a while. Alright, now here's a thinker for you, chat. This is a question I've had, like, in my head for the last couple of days, and I wanna hear other opinions on it, because I think it's a really fun sort of question to ponder. Okay, so, switching gears from Star Wars for a sec. Y'all are familiar with the Shrek series, right? I would hope so. It's like a cornerstone of, like, media, um, in general, and, like, animation, especially in the early aughts. Um, okay, so, are you familiar with the character Dolores? I think her name is Dolores. She's the like, trans lady voiced by Larry King. It's like one of the ugly stepsisters, sort of thing. Very, very heavily implied to be a trans lady. Didn't see past 4. That's fair. Okay. Now, in the background of Shrek 2, in Fairy Godmother's sort of lab, right? They have, like, a before and after kind of thing for a lot of her, like, clients, right? It's like, before She was like a beautiful lady, and now she's an ugly witch because that's exactly what she wanted, you know, kind of thing. Well, they have one for Dolores, and it's like a dude, and then like Dolores, right? For the before and after. Um, Now, by killing Fairy Godmother at the end of Shrek 2, does that imply that Shrek killed the one person in all of Far, Far Away who is able to provide transgender affirming healthcare? So ponder that for a minute. I know Fairy Godmother was like actually evil, but like she's an ally. It's kind of like how I feel about talking the one scene from Queen's Hope where the one clone trooper is like talking to Anakin about being trans, and Anakin just kind of takes it in stride. Because like, yeah, he might literally be Darth Vader, but like also, he's an ally. We take those, I guess. People can be non-prejudiced one way and prejudiced in another. Uh, I guess. Now I don't think he meant to do that. I don't think Shrek meant to kill the one person providing gender affirming care in the you know fairy tale kingdom or whatever. But like, it's kind of a weird consequence of all of that, right? I don't know. They probably weren't thinking about the implications of that back in 2004 when that movie came out. But like, kind of fucked up. Also, that role should have gone to an actual trans lady and not to Larry King, but you know, that's another whole thing. It's probably a little more difficult to find trans actresses back in 2004 when that movie came out. So I do get it to an extent, but also. Alright. I'll have to use the ladder to get up to the top of that one. Or the scaffolding. No, I'm only just now realizing kind of how much this like whole background here kind of looks like the Universal Studios backlot. It looks a bit like Hill Valley. There we go. Of course, I know the backlot at Universal was like meant to look like your everyday average American, and more specifically Californian city, but like it looks a lot like Hill Valley, just in the way it's laid out. There are other movies I want to watch again. It's Back to the Future. already got too much on my watch list that's, like, new and I haven't seen yet, let alone stuff I want to rewatch. I gotta stop doing this to myself. Alright, we're at 60% done. Hey, yo, they're putting the gems back on the merman? Let's fucking go. Waiting for the beam. I don't see a beam. Should I be seeing a beam? Oh, there it is. Nice. Whoop. Okay, is that all for the peacock? It is not. Okay. Oh, shit. What other part of this am I missing? There we go. That should be everything. Alright, it's just the other float left. Cool. Alright, here we go. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I see it. It's over there. Got the beam. Hey. Kind of funny how a digital PS5 proved more advantageous to me than a physical. Yeah, I'm really hoping they reverse their decision on that. Supposedly there are lawsuits in the UK right now against Sony. Not necessarily for that, but, like, because, like, they're seeing the PlayStation Store as sort of a monopoly, and if they go through with their plans on digital only, then it's going to be even more of a monopoly because they can just set the prices for games to be whatever they want, effectively. And people still aren't even going to be able to own the games that they buy. think it's a tremendously stupid decision from Sony, and I don't like it. I also think it's going to backfire horrendously. Last I heard, they've been completely, like, radio silent on social media since this whole thing happened. I think they're just waiting for it to go away, which means we can't stop saying that it's bad. I'm not getting either, though. Yeah, that's fair. I do have a PS5, but I have the disc version because I wanted to collect physical games, you know? Partly because it's like, yeah, I want to be able to own the games that I buy. You know, I don't want just a fucking digital license for them. But, like, also because, like, they're cool to have on the shelf, you know? Like, if I'm being a little bit selfish about my reasoning for wanting physical media, it's cool to have them on a shelf and, like, have, like, a conversation piece. Get started, oh, you like God of War? No, I only played one game in it. You know, like that kind of thing, you know? It's cool. Also, so many kids on Christmas are in, like, Hanukkah and whatever, you know, other gift-giving celebrations, birthdays, that sort of thing, like, aren't going to be able to get PlayStation games. You know, it sucks. It's bad enough that they have to sit through the day one patch download as it is. Now they have to download the whole fucking video game because it's just a code in a box. It's tremendously stupid and, like, actually evil. I used to own a physical PS5 and bought the first two Spider-Man games digitally on it. At the time, I also wanted Kingdom Hearts and Jedi Fallen Order by disc. I have Fallen Order digitally, mostly because it was like $5 on the PS Store, and I was like, well, alright. As much as I would want the actual disc, like, it's $5. If I ever want to get the actual disc, I can just do that at any time. But, like, I have Survivor on disc, I have Spider-Man 2 on disc. I can actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna pull out my entire collection of PS5 games that I own physically and just list off all the names. So here we go. Indiana Jones The Great Circle, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Spider-Man 2, Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Outlaws, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, Deathloop, God of War, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, and Lego Batman The Legacy of the Dark Knight. That's all of the physical games I own for my PlayStation 5. I own so many of them they don't even fit in the fucking drawer that I use to store all my games anymore. Like, or they just barely do, you know? Hi, Jimmy. Welcome in. I'm ranting about PlayStation right now and getting rid of physical discs. That's how I'm doing. I also have quite the collection for my Switch as well. Alright, there we go. They're all back into place. It's about 8 games, though. I have about 30 PS4 games on my wall. Well, I only just got my PlayStation, like, a year and a half ago. Video games are also expensive, man. You've got to cut me some slack. The fact that I have this many is kind of impressive. I did also get a lot of them on, like, pre-owned deals and stuff like that. That's how I got God of War and Bomb Rush Cyberpunk and Deathloop. So I need to sit down and actually finish Deathloop and God of War. PS5 has no games. PS5 has one game. It's called Astrobot, and it's great, and I love it. Afterwards, I decided the only thing I wanted other than Kingdom Hearts PS4 was Assassin's Creed Shadows, and that requires DRM digital rights management verification on the Ubisoft PS5 server before it'll even play. That's just true of any Ubisoft game. Trust me, trying to get Outlaws to run was kind of a nightmare. Game's fun, but, like, man. Same thing with Assassin's Creed Mirage. Really, honestly, the only reason I picked that one up is because I had heard, like, semi-decent things about it, and also the main guy was voiced by Lee Majube, and I love that guy. He's great. He's the guy that plays Agent Stone in the Sonic movies. He's quite funny. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. What is the use of the disc if it can't be gifted? Yeah, exactly. This is the thing, is I want physical games, but I also want them to not be stupid about it. I want them to go back to the days of, this is how you share games on PS4, and then just, like, literally handing the box to someone, you know, like... What happened to Sony, man? Like, they were making fun of Xbox for doing that shit back during the PS4 Xbox One launch. And you know what's even more fucked up is they're citing, like, changing consumer habits. But the data they cite shows that more people bought Spider-Man on physical than they did on digital. And I'm sure they're, like, obscuring the data for a lot of other games, too. I'm sure it's not just Spider-Man, but, like, the data they're citing contradicts the thing that they're trying to do, and it's becoming clear the only reason they're doing it is so they have more control over your game that you purchased with your money, that you should be able to own a copy of, but fuck you, they're actually going to shut the servers down and take it away from you. At least with Steam, when, like, a game got delisted off of Steam, if you already had it in your library, it was still there, you know? It wasn't true with the PS4 iterations of the Assassin's Creed series. I'm just glad I haven't accidentally made a bad decision. Went to US Game Store today, picked up a few PS2 games, a fucking real-ass GameCube controller. Hell yeah! This is the other thing, too, is the pre-owned games market is gonna fucking just be non-existent for the next console generation, I think. You know, if they keep up with this shit. Which I hope they don't. But I think they're trying to push it towards a future where it's like, games are, like, temporary. Games as a service. Which I think sucks. Because games aren't a service. They're art. They're entertainment. They're pieces of culture at this point, you know? Like, name one, you know, like, if I told you to name a tune from a video game, you'd probably be able to do it. Like, you know, hum me like a tune from a video game. You go like, bop, 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 bop. You know, it's like anyone and their grandma knows, like, fucking Mario at this point. Like, video games have become part of culture. And they're trying to take that, like, part of it away by, like, restricting access from games in future. You know, it's really, really stupid. They're, like, basically trying to create lost media on purpose, is what it feels like. And, it's like, as much as I think lost media is cool, I don't want people to purposefully create it unless you're, like, Markiplier, right? And really they only get away with that because they were like, yeah, that's the whole point, is like, this is only going to last a year because it's like, you know, part of the art, part of the statement of the art, you know, is that it's fleeting, it's temporary. Yeah, that's the only reason they got away with doing this on us, in my eyes. Nintendo wins by doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, no, it, like, even Nintendo's not, like, fully, like, you know, in the clear on this one. They were the company that introduced the Game Key cards, and, like, those seem to have been unpopular enough that, like, nobody's going for them anymore, really. Which I'm very okay with. It's a really stupid idea. Like, there was enough backlash that, like, basically most companies were like, all right, no, we're just gonna put this shit on an actual cartridge. Fucking, like, Bethesda's doing that with Oblivion Remastered. They're just putting that shit on an actual Switch cartridge. They did it with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I'm sure it doesn't, like, look as good or run as well as, like, the PS5 version or the Xbox One or, like, Xbox Series X version, but, like, they still managed to fit that entire fucking game on a Cheez-It. Like, it's kind of dunking on Sony and Microsoft here. If we control the culture, then we control the gamers, because gamers are famous for being easy to control and uneducated. Yeah, no. Gamers are also famous for not being terminally online and don't see anything that we do, of course, obviously. God, imagine being a gamer and being online right now. Couldn't be me. They want repeated payments for dead innovation. That's a really good way of putting it. I'm gonna steal that, by the way, Shin. I'm gonna credit you, but I'm gonna steal it. But that's what subscription services are. We've changed nothing. We've actually made the thing worse. But now you get to pay us monthly for it. Fuck you. Xbox Series X, let's go. Yeah, well, it's the Series S and Series X, and if I want to be, have some brevity about it, it's the Series X, just like it's the PS5. I also did steal that bit from Noodle. I can't deny that. Been watching a bunch of his stuff recently. I feel like a lot of my like weird phrases come from him. Feel free to either give credit me or withhold it as you wish. I release They Want Repeated Payments for Dead Innovation into the public domain. Fuck yeah. But it's a good line. No, because but it's true. It's true. That's the frustrating thing. I was complaining about this when, like, Adobe first went to, like, a subscription service. I was like, what the fuck do you mean I have to pay a monthly fee just to use Premiere? Fuck off, you know? And that was, like, 10 years ago, too. I was mad about it then. And, like, basically everything's gone to a subscription model since then. You know, because God forbid we own anything as people. I still think that was, like, the stupidest thing to ever come out of Adobe. Like, outside of all of the bugs in all of their software and everything, the stupidest thing they ever did was switch to a subscription model and tell people, like, nah, this is, like, the future. You don't want to actually own our software. No, you don't want to do that. You want to pay for it on a monthly basis. And I was over here like, I'm poor, and my computer can barely run your software to begin with, so no, I'm switching over to a free alternative. Fuck you. Also, don't go for Adobe software anyway. It all sucks. Every fucking game gets a battle pass. Yeah. Listen, if your game is gonna have a battle pass, do it like Splatoon 3 does it, where it's like you don't actually pay for anything. It's just there, right? Yeah, you still have the FOMO thing, which I'm still not a fan of, but like if you're gonna put a battle pass, don't make me fucking pay for it on top of the game that I already paid for. You know? If it's a free-to-play game, that's one thing, because, like, that's how they make their money. But, like, if it's a game I've already paid money for, fuck off, you know? I'm just gonna say it. Microtransactions, were the worst thing to come out of, the last couple of console generations. And you know what the crazy thing is? It's implied in the files TM that everyone's favorite. Oh, we're getting raided! Hi! Pixel Crew! Alright, hold on. Let me. Oh, you already did the shout out. Cool. Thanks, Vivi. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I definitely wasn't ranting about microtransactions just now. But hi, how you doing? If you don't know who I am, I'm Elemental Turnip. I'm a good friend of Drew's. How did Chapter 5 go? I you guys did all the side stuff that I didn't do in my playthrough, so I'm curious to know your thoughts on everything. But yeah, um, if you guys need to, go do anything, like get some food, get some rest, go to sleep, take a shit, whatever you need to do, go do that. But also, if you want to just stick around and watch me play PowerWash Simulator, you know. Oh yeah, like Redacted. Redacted is my favorite. Cool, I'm glad to know that you really like Redacted. But yeah, you guys came into the middle of us ranting about how fucked the next console generation is going to be, and Sony not having physical games and microtransactions in general, and just the way the industry's going, you know? Really cool stuff that we're talking about here. Well, friend, I got a dip, but I hope stream goes well. Thank you for reading, Drew. I appreciate it. Very much a good time with how we're adapted. Turned out, cool. See, I know what you guys are talking about, to at least to an extent. If you haven't played Deltarune Chapter 5, you should go play Deltarune Chapter 5. You should also play Deltarune, like, in general, before that, if you haven't done so already. It's really good. And actually, you know what? Before you play Deltarune, you should play Undertale first. There's a lot of stuff, especially in Chapter 5, that is, like, direct references to Undertale, so... Stuff hits a lot more if you've played that one first. I'm only saying this because I did hear about, like, there are people who haven't played Undertale but are, like, big fans of Deltarune. It's like, brother, how are you understanding half of this plot? They watched a YouTube essay. Oh, that's the worst way to learn about video games. No, I have nothing against video essayists, unless they're bad. Um, but, like, I don't know, man. The best way to experience a game like Undertale is to play it, even if you're bad at bullet hells, like me, which you would know if you caught my Undertale streams that I've been doing for the past month-ish. Month and a half? I don't remember how long it's been. Anyway, we got through Undertale, so now we're going to be going on to Deltarune next. We'll be starting fresh from Chapter 1. I mean, I think I get the basic gist of Undertale, even though I've barely watched it. Yeah, but it's really the kind of game that, like, it gets you emotionally if you actually play the thing. You know? Also, it's like, what, 15, 20 bucks? Something like that. So if you have $15 burning a hole in your pocket, go play Undertale. I don't even play video games anymore or watch movies. I just watch no commentary 4K videos and then a documentary telling me what to think. Hell yeah, that's the way to do it, brother. Don't think your own thoughts. Don't form your own opinions. Just listen to what the funny guy on YouTube has to say. Especially if they hate women, you know? Those guys are the coolest. I can't even say that with a straight face, dude. I'm still mad about fucking everyone talking shit about Supergirl. Like, people fully misunderstanding the point of that movie. I'm not even going to say it's a perfect movie, and I'm not going to spoil too much because it's still fairly recent. But, like, there were a lot of people that hated that movie just because they hate women, and also because they fundamentally misunderstood what the film was about. But that's a whole nother thing. Moist Critical is always right, and he's an alpha Chad male. Listen. Moist Critical is right very often. He is also wrong occasionally, and I think people forget about that part. It's like, I love the guy, but, like... Well, not love the guy. I don't know him personally, but, like... He's a funny guy. I respect the hell out of Critical. I don't always agree with him, though. At least when it comes to, like, media. What? I thought everyone was excited for it? Oh, no, God. Have you not been on the internet the past, like, week and a half? No, people were shitting on that movie for no fucking reason. Again, I'm not gonna say it's a perfect movie or anything. It's really not. But, like... There's a lot of backlash against it. Mostly from chuds, incels, and the like. You know how it is. Oh no, strong female character? This movie is literally Satan. Hey, Saxy. Oh, did I miss something over here? I must have, because it's lighting up. Oh, God, I missed a lot. There we go. Is it also suffering because by nature of it being hard to beat Superman 2025, people think it's trying to push her as better and failing? That's also the thing, is I think people are trying to compare it to Superman 2025 when A, those two characters are very different. B, those two movies are very different. You know, I think the thing people seem to be forgetting is that, like, Clark and Kara had very different upbringings. Kara at least had a taste of Kryptonian society before she was launched off the planet. Clark didn't know anything. Clark was raised by good old Ma and Pa Kent. So, like, yeah, of course she'd have a little more angst to her, kind of thing. Okay, well, I gotta go sleep. I get to suffer surviving Ohio tomorrow. I'm so sorry, Saxy. Have fun in Ohio? Question mark? Saw Superman 2025 and can't seem to spare the time and money on Supergirl. That's the other thing, too, is less people are going to the theater, and so people are like, oh, well, it's not doing as well at the box office, so obviously it's worse. Which is not how that works. But I see the anti-woke mob as being judgmental as always. Well, the anti-woke mob can suck my dick, you know? I'm not even gonna be kind about that. They're the kind of people that will, like, look at, like, the most beautiful piece of art and be like, ew, a woman. They'll look at the Mona Lisa and being like, this is woke. It's got a woman, therefore bad. It's really what they sound like. Marvel kind of burnt me out on the genre. That is fair. Um, for me, it wasn't so much superhero fatigue as much as it was just bad movie fatigue. I don't know. I didn't even mind, like, some of the more recent Marvel movies, but, like, Quantumania fucking burnt me out on the MCU specifically. Anyway, I don't like woke because lesbians were already scary enough. I think that's just a you problem, Jimmy. I'm sorry I'm so scary to you. Oh, God. Okay. Gamers, we're at the final level. You know what that calls for? Calls for a celebratory Dr. Pepper. Is it even a title we took for ourselves? Hmm? I'm not sure I understand the question here. Oh, like woke? Uh, well, woke started as like a black phrase, right? Where it was like, you're woke to the injustices against the black community was what it originally meant. Um, but uh, fucking idiots co-opted it to mean anything that's not conservative, um, which feels like projecting, really. Um, oh God, all of this. Okay, cool. But yeah, no, the word woke has been around in like black circles for like decades. I think it I think it goes as far back as the '60s, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on it. But it's older than you'd think, if you're not, black. Uh, and weren't privy to that kind of vocabulary, I suppose. Um, but yeah, no, it's an older word than you'd think, and yeah, it was only co-opted in the last few years by like fucking idiots who want to use it to mean anything that I don't like, basically. Which, because it started out as black term, is kind of racist, and by kind of I mean extremely. I thought right-wing people might have purposefully attributed it to anyone they don't like to make them look stupid. Yeah, pretty much. I don't like taxes. Taxes are woke. Ban taxes. I mean, no, that is like a legit thing. God, like I was reading an article, or not an article even really. It was like a snippet from an article about like the big 250th anniversary celebration for July 4th yesterday. I'm dating the stream, by the way. This stream took place on July 5th, 2026. Um, uh, but like the attendees at the event in DC, they had to evacuate because there was a big storm, and one guy took a look at the storm and said it's probably because of those liberals in the weather service. Brother, what the fuck are you talking about? It's the weather. So anyway, in case you needed like a good laugh at how stupid some people can be, I suppose. Can't even have good weather because of woke. Oh yeah, it poured wet hell on us. Still is. The storm cut my internet out for about 4 hours yesterday. That sucks. I'm so sorry. It's been raining pretty badly over here recently. It stopped raining just long enough for everyone to start fucking launching fireworks last night, but still pretty bad. Okay, yeah. There we go. That's gonna help. Dropped my girlfriend off this afternoon and was driving home in a blanket of rain. Yeah, that's just like every other day in Florida. Especially during the summer. It gets real bad sometimes. Okay, good. I'm glad the beam doesn't block my, like, power washer. That's good to know. There we go. Oh, good. I didn't realize that was a thing there. We got it, though. Okay, we got the door, we got the emblem. Hell yeah. Got the floor. Nice. The lintel. Got the door frame. Got the pilaster. And we're about to get the other pilaster here. Wow! Look at that. Okay. Now, I don't trust that 14%, because I know this temple's going to open up, and we're going to have to go inside and clean all of that. But I don't know, man. I don't trust the fact that we've already gotten 14% of this done. I feel like there's going to be, like, it's going to open up, and it's going to be like, actually, motherfucker, only 2% done. Fuck you. Either that, or it's just going to be nothing but dirt inside. One of the two. It's going to be one of the two. Alright. There we go. There we go. And then what the fuck part of this did I miss? Oh, all of that. That makes sense. Here we go. Alright. Moment of truth. Oh, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Okay, cool. I was a little concerned. I was like, don't tell me I have to clean out this entire fucking cave. I was gonna lose my shit, dude. I kind of like how it glows like that. That's really cool looking. It's really sick. Right, and... Ah. There we go. Gamers, we're almost done with this game. I can't believe we're almost done. Unless the game pulls some fucking bullshit right at the end, but I think this is the last level. There we go. Sick. Alright, and then we'll get all of this here. Pop. Cool. That's that part done. We're a quarter of the way there. go. Clean off these crystals. There we go. Oh god, it's almost blinding how much this is glowing right now. I guess I am doing this to myself, really, but, like, still. Okay, cool. Fantastic. It's almost giving, like, Bonanza a little bit, like this whole kind of area here. Like, it's very much that kind of color scheme and texture work. Of course, I think those games were, like, being developed at the same time, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was just parallel thinking, but, like, god damn, this area is giving Bonanza. Like, tell me that isn't the same texture they use on the Fractones, right? Like, come on. Alright, here we go. Oh. Look how it all just fucking comes right off. That's crazy. Probably shouldn't stand directly in the path of that beam. It does look a little radioactive. Just like the song by Imagine Dragons. Okay, no, that's just part of the texture. Cool. Here we go. Alright. We're getting somewhere, gamers. like, locked in. I'm so focused. I'm, like, determined to get this level done. Okay. Alright, here we go. Nice. Oh, shit. Not what I meant to do. Okay, there we go. Let's see if we can get the stairs. There we go. There we go. There we go! Alright. Nice. I think going for the stairs right there was a really fun move. Try to clear as much of this as I can. At least, what's on the floor. I'll go for the crystals. They're kind of jutting up after this. There we go. There we go. Nice. We got the conduit channel here. Just sort of leading to that, I guess. Okay. We got all of this over here. Say, what part of this did I miss? It's the part that I didn't look at yet. There we go. All right. Cool. Let's get this purple one here next. Yeah, we got pink, we got orange, we got blue, we got Seth. That joke is funny if you've played Deltarune Chapter 5. Okay. Okay, there we go. Gotta get nice up close and personal. Alright, we hit 50% completion. We're almost there. We're halfway done with the level. Oh, we're so close to the end. We're so close to the end. I can taste it. And I'm really glad because I wanted to get this game done before the Star Wars pack comes out because I want to... It's not going to be like for the charity incentive like this game, like base game was. I just kind of want to play the Star Wars pack on stream at some point. Get a bunch of people and just like do that. Seems like fun. Alright. There we go. I'll do that one in a minute. I think I want to try to get everything else, and then I'll go back and get the reflection crystal over here. Because I think it'll be a nice little finishing touch for it to, like, actually get over there. There we go. If I can just keep this same pace, we'll be done in no time. 12th activation conduit? Yeah, man. All right. Okay. Here we go. First activation conduit. Oh, I see. So it's probably first, second, third, fourth, fifth, blah, 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 12th. Okay. I think I'm starting to see things. In general, I think I'm going insane. But, besides that, I think I'm starting to see where this game is going. Okay? Here we go. I think hitting all of that really helped. There we go. All right, there we go. What do you mean that didn't do it? Oh, that makes sense. As I missed a couple of things. That usually is a detriment, I think. What the fuck did I miss this time? That is what I missed. Okay. That at least makes an amount of sense. Okay. Oh, we're almost there. I just gotta keep telling myself we're almost there. And eventually, we will get there, and it will be true. There we go. You know, honestly, though, tonight, like, I've made a lot more progress than I thought I was going to. I genuinely was, like, convinced I would have to do, like, one more stream of this. There was, like, a little bit, I'll be fully honest, there was, like, a little bit of time where I was like, I don't know if I can finish this game, man. I think I was just kind of burning myself out on it for a little bit. But we're getting close to the end. I think I found that second wind, so to speak. There we go. Hooray. Alright. Okay. Alright. Really, I think the most, like, the ones I'm going to end up worrying about the most are probably going to be the crystals over here. Just because it's going to be, like, a lot of, like, detail work kind of thing. Not really detail work per se, but, like, it's not just I can stand here in one position and, like, manage to get all of it, you know? Also, we're at 69%. Nice. And so you gotta move around quite a bit for these ones and jump up, jump up, jump up to get down. That's not really, like, detail work in, like, getting in all the little nooks and crannies and everything, but it's detail work in the sense that, like, I can't just stand in one spot and spray all of it down. Here we go. We're in the last 30%, dude. Alright. And then we're gonna have to jump up and get the tops of these guys. Here we go. Oh. Goodness gracious. Okay. Wow, that was the entire 8th activation conduit. That was really cool. Oh, you know what? It's kind of like Doctor Who, because the 8th one is barely there. That joke is funny if you know anything about Doctor Who. Found it funny. Cool. Thank you, Vivi. I appreciate it. Where the fuck? Oh. I'm just bad at seeing things. There we go. I know about Doctor Who. Yeah, well, I know you know about... I know you know. Okay. There we go. There's the rest of it. That's the 6th. Come on, game. There we go. Whew. We're 3/4 of the way there. We're so close. We're so close. I've never been closer to beating this game. Although, technically that's true of any moment that I play it, I suppose. But, like, still. There's 5. There's 4. Should not be cursed with a quote. Cool. Thanks for the big dick quote, I guess. I know it's all luck of the draw. I gotta say more funny shit, man. I don't know. I can't help not being funny, I guess. There we go. There's 3. on, come on. There we go. Does it really make you better or just faster? I guess when the competition is speed, it is better. Yeah, I was gonna say, it could be both. Of course, I don't know what the competition is usually, because I don't actually pay attention that much to the Olympics. The only sport I care about in any Olympic game is curling, and they only play that one every 4 years, so... I didn't even get to watch the curling, like, competition this year. I was too busy doing other things. There we go. There's 2. Alright, I think that's all the conduits. Yeah, cool. Oh, you're at the fun level? Hi, Yo-Yo. Yeah, I'm at the very end of the game, I think. At least to my understanding. It seems like it's the last level. I'd be crunching on this level. Yeah, it does kind of look tasty, don't it? I was saying earlier, it's given like a little bit of Donkey Kong Bonanza. Like the texture work on the crystals in here are very, very, very like the fractones in Bonanza. Okay. Oh, 80%. I'm so close, dude. Yeah, you got the Trident top tier sprayer. Yeah, I probably could be using that more often, huh? Oh, not what I meant to hit. There we go. There we go. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, my game froze for a second. I got very scared. She be powerful? That she is. A little too powerful, I guess. My game almost crashed. That's actually not bad. I didn't really miss all that much. I mean, I missed everything that was behind everything else, but still. Mel, what if we did an Oops All PowerWash Sharky one day? I would be down for that, actually. I'd have to get that all set up and everything. But, yeah. Speaking of Arkies, I've been tweaking my Lego Star Wars one, so hopefully it doesn't have as many junk items. Hopefully. If I figured it out right. I think they also updated it since the last time I made the YAML, so... Hopefully getting the new YAML will have also helped with that. get Melly on it. I need to play Lego Star Wars. I miss it. It's a good game. It's a really good game. I mean, I'm also biased. It's one of my favorites from my childhood. There we go. This'll work. Sand, fuck sand. Damn. Yo-Yo out here talking like Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, no, he was not kidding. Sand is coarse and rough and gets everywhere. It's true. The rumor is true. Okay, but also what they don't tell you. Oh, now I'm interested to hear Yo-Yo's thoughts on sand. Once you get into the ocean, salt just dries on your skin. Yes. Yeah, that does just happen. Um, when I was a little kid, I grew up like going to the beach a lot because we lived like right next to it, right? Like we lived practically on the beach. Like it was not that far a drive, and my grandma loves the beach, absolutely adores the beach. It's like one of her favorite places on earth, and she would always talk to us kids about, oh, never turn your back on the big kahuna, and that was like her word for the spirit of the ocean. Um, and her reasoning was, yeah, if you turn your back on the big kahuna, he's gonna send a wave, and he's gonna like knock you into the water. Um, so it was kind of like a way to just like for her to tell us to like, hey, don't forget to be careful out in the ocean, right? But she was being so funny about it. I'm also still white and not in fact tan. Ah, welcome to my world. Here's another fun story for you. My mother would purposefully not put sunscreen on me for at least an hour, just to see if I would tan, and I never did. Right at the moment, I am the most tan I've ever been in my life, and I'm still like paper white. It's really bad. How did you like my kahuna? Here I come, San Francisco! Oh, my freckles to come out? Aw. I always wanted more freckles. I don't know. Maybe I was a weird kid. I mean, I know for a fact I was a weird kid. That's not really like a maybe, but like, you know what I mean. But I'm excited because I'm going to the casino tomorrow. Hell yeah! Get me at the craps table. I mean, listen, if Gamble with Your Friends has proven anything, it's that you're good at craps, Yo-Yo. I don't know how it's possible to be good at a game of luck, but you manage it somehow. Oh, goodness gracious. I had zero freckles and did not need them. I had a few when I was a little kid. I don't have them anymore. But I always wanted more. I don't know. I thought freckles were cool. So not Vivi saying I'm a weird adult, aren't we all? There we go. There we go. We're at 93%. We're so close to beating the game. Okay, I'm sleepy now. I'm gonna go ahead to bed. Good night. Get some good rest, Yo-Yo. Have fun at the casino tomorrow, I guess. But yeah, sleep well, friend. Alright, alright, alright. Here we go. Here we go. Nice. Right. Where did I miss? I missed back here. Alright. Oh, I missed all of this. Okay, I'm really good at the video game, guys, I promise. There we go. There we go. Okay. Only 3 things left, and they're all right over here. I want to see if I can get the lens last. Because I think that would be really neat. I'm headed out. Night turnip. Have a good night, Arthur Pluro. Thank you for sticking around. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Did my game, please? Video game, please? PowerWash Sim, please? No, don't tell me it crashed right here. Please, God, no, 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 don't crash right here. We're right at the end. We're so close. We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close. Oh, come on, dude. I can't believe this. Oh shit. Oh shit. We might be back. We are not back. Game actually did crash. Fuck. God damn it. Oh, how far back did that set me? Oh. Oh, great. And now Steam's refusing to work. What the fuck is going on? What do you mean Steam Web Helper is not responding? Fuck you. Technical difficulties, everyone. I promise we'll be back up and running here in a second. I really could not tell you what happened. Every other time the game froze like that, it only lasted like a second and was perfectly fine. Oh, there we go. Game's back up. We were like right at the end too. Oh, I really hope it didn't like reset some of my progress. That would not be fun. Because I swear to God, if I have to play that entire level again, I'm going to lose my mind. I think it autosaves. I'm pretty sure it autosaves. So I'm like, there's a little bit of hope. But also, I can't believe this, dude. It's gonna take a minute. In the meantime, did you know that today's Wikipedia article, featured Wikipedia article, is Destiny's Child, the American girl group? Um, Destiny's Child was an American girl group formed in Houston, Texas in 1990. Its final lineup comprised Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, and Michelle Williams. This is where the level we're at, and that I'm waiting for the game to load, and I'm reading the Wikipedia article for Destiny's Child because it happens to be today's featured article. I have like a little widget on my phone that is like, first of all, search Wikipedia, and then a second widget right under that that is just whatever the featured article is for the day. Um, we're back. Oh my God, we're back. Oh God. Okay, cool. We're still at 97%. We're so fucking back, gamers. Okay. How far back did we go? Oh, we're like right here. Okay, perfect. And like nothing ever happened. Come on. There we go. I missed what Destiny's Child is. Oh, it was a girl group back in the 90s and early aughts. If you've ever heard of Beyonce, that's where she got her start. Come on. Come on. There we go. Moment of truth, everyone. Oh God, no, please don't. Okay, okay, we're good. Hmm. Alright, gamers. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do, actually, is this... That. Okay. Oh, good. We got one of the brackets, at least. We got the crystal itself and the bracket. Let's go! Gamers, we just beat the game! And we got a Steam achievement for it. Hell yeah. Hmm. What the fuck is happening here? Oh, the moon! Yeah, there we go. Now get yourself outside quick as you can. The fireworks are starting. Holy shit, guys, we did it. We beat PowerWash Simulator 2! Let's go! Oh, and game is breaking again. Wonderful. I would love to... Oh, there we go. I love the full fucking FMV for this. Like, they were just like, yeah, man. Of course, an FMV that keeps, you know, lagging, but whatever. This is just me trying to run this game on my specific computer. I'm sure it runs fine on other people's systems. Aww. Hey, look at that. Aw, look at all these messages that we got from all of our clients. Oh, and we got the full time lapse every level, of course.
Let us show your best is yet to come, and everything will glow with the rising sun. Let it flow, 'cause the best
It's the weird
is
house.
yet to come. Feels like time for change.
The dog car.
Chaos leaves from every page. Maybe
I learned yesterday that I have better vision than one of my friends, even though I need prescription eyeglasses to drive. Interesting. Also, really cool of the video game to... Oh my god. Game? Are you... yeah, man. That was weird. Oh, this one was fun to do. There's the gazebo. See, I was right. I did do the gazebo. There's the other weird house. Here's the airship. Forgot about the airship. Once you find the flow to leave behind what you outgrow, the morning breaks the spell. Oh god, the barn. That one took forever. Not the fucking Among Us. I forgot I did that. This one took a hot minute too, yeah. Oh god, here's the disco. Yo-Yo kind of saved my ass halfway through the disco, just popping in and doing that one. I kind of like this level too. That one was a fun one. Oh, there's the theater. And I think everything else from here on out was just me by myself doing all of it. Yeah, so there's the motel. Oh, there's the roller coaster. There's the planetarium. There's the tram. There are a lot of levels in this game. Oh, there's the other weird house. Big truck. There's the fun maze. There's the ski center. God, Jesus, that one took forever. The limo. There's the shopping mall. That was the other night. And then everything else from here on out is going to be... Oh no, the future bike. I forgot about the future bike. So everything from here was what we did tonight. So we did the theater. And then the semi. And then the parade floats. And then the temple. Thanks for washing. Chocolate. You don't like chocolate? Aw. I like chocolate. I could go for some chocolate right now. Gamers, we did it. That's another one crossed off the list. We've finally beaten PowerWash Simulator 2, and my model is all fucked up again. Okay, do we have anything? Now I'm curious. Do I have any more furniture I can get? Oh, look at that, look at that. Oh, there's the one that cost me 2,000 that I forgot about. Okay, cool. Alright, well, we gotta go clean a couple more things, and then we will be all said and done for tonight, I guess. I would have chocolate if I was starving. Yeah, I'd have a lot of things if I was starving. I get that. Or hungry with no alternatives. It's crazy. Really? You don't like chocolate that much? That it's like your last resort? I don't know, man. I quite like chocolate. I like dark chocolate, specifically. I'm a dark chocolate girly. I like kind of that bitterness to it. It's like one of the few things that I can actually stand being bitter. There we go. I mean, if it was Fruity Pebbles, I would take chocolate first, or Corn Pops. That I do get. Alright, how do I get rid of things? There we go. Alright, cool. There we go. All right, and then one last thing is this gothic lamp, and then we should be good. There we go. And then we'll come over to this side. We'll come over here. There we go. All right. Well, we fucking did it. I got nothing else. It's also close enough to midnight that I'm probably just going to call it here. But we will see if anyone else is live that we can go raid. And then also on top of that, I want to talk about future streams and see what we got. Um, oh, Minty's live. I could go raid Minty or Artie. You know what? Artie raids me in a lot. I'll go raid Artie tonight, I think. Um, I think that'll be fun. I call this move edging. I think that came from a PowerWash stream, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, um, yeah, I got nothing else. But before we go, I want to talk about future streams. So I still have quite a few of the Melodies incentives that I still need to do throughout the rest of the year. So that includes a Fortnite stream at some point. It includes the Jam Sesh stream. It's I gotta do Sonic Forces. And Deltarune, starting on Thursday. Hopefully, if we can get everyone together, starting on Thursday, we'll finally be starting our playthrough, our complete full playthrough of all 5 chapters so far released of Deltarune. We're going to be starting with chapter 1, of course. So hopefully that will be a thing on this coming Thursday. Now, from there, the rest of the streams are sort of planned out for later parts of the year. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. That's another one I got to do in October because I want that to be the Halloween thing that I do this year is Five Nights at Freddy's. So that's, yeah. The only one I really don't have planned out when I'm going to do it is Fortnite, and that's because I want to see if I can get some other people together so I don't have to suffer alone. Um, but yeah, besides that, those are all the other future streams I have planned. And then also, at the end of the month, Splatoon Raiders is coming out, and I will be playing that one on stream because if there's anything that you guys should know about me is I'm a big fan of Splatoon. Actually, that's not the only thing you guys should know about me. You guys should know that I'm a fan of a lot of things, but like I really like Splatoon, and I'm really looking forward to Raiders, and I'm gonna play Splatoon Raiders when it comes out. And speaking of raiding, I think it's time we go ahead and go do that. So let me go ahead and get out of here. We're gonna go, and there we go. Okay, no fun transition tonight. My OBS wouldn't allow it. It's fine. Let's get that raid going. So raid Artie's Tap House. There we go. Looks like Artie is playing a game called Hyperzone. Can't say that I've ever heard of that one, but looks fun. Looks like a Genesis game of some kind. I think it's either Genesis or Super Nintendo. It's one of the two. But yeah, we're gonna go raid Artie. Remember, guys, that the vibes over at Artie's, over at the Tap House, are gonna be a little bit different than they are here. So just keep that in mind. Oh, let me get the raid message for everyone. There it is. It's you just pulled a turnip raid. Also, shut up, Sari. We're not going to ad break because we're going to Artie's. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. That's it. That's all I got. Have a good night, everyone. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.